we step into a new year, I have written an intention for myself. My intention is to turn resentment into gratitude. Have you ever felt resentment towards someone? I admit that I have. Although I felt that my resentment was justified, I realized that ultimately I was hurting myself. This was a major disturbance for me. The fourfold grace teaches us that even if there is a situation in which we might become resentful, we respond gratefully by recognizing first and foremost that from which all grace derives, and giving thanks for any situation. I was participating in a 4-day-long virtual retreat with Wangang through Southern Dharma in November of 2020. I had set up a tent in my backyard for the retreat. I had my laptop ready to go in my art studio. My family knew that they were not to disturb me. It wasn't my family who disturbed me during my at-home retreat. Instead, it was resentment in my own heart that disturbed me. At the time of the retreat, I was struggling with feelings of annoyance towards someone. The resentment that I was holding was heavy on my own heart. While participating in the retreat, I thought to myself that the way I was feeling towards this fellow being wasn't very Buddhist. With plenty of time to meditate, go inward, I realized that I needed to transform these feelings I had within myself, for they were disturbing my state of peace. I wanted to change the way I felt, but I didn't know how. While reading the Fourfold Grace in the scriptures of Wan Buddhism, it dawned on me that I could turn my perspective around. I could practice gratitude for this person instead of resenting them. The scriptures give consequences for gratitude and ingratitude for each of the graces. When I looked at the grace of fellow beings, I began to question if I was showing ingratitude towards this person. I realized that maybe I was. Wangang used the expression peeling back the layers of the onion during the retreat as a metaphor for self-discovery. I still wasn't sure what I could do to peel back this layer of the onion in order to release myself of this burden. I decided I'd write a list in my journal of all the reasons I am grateful for this person. I wrote a list of 10 reasons why I'm grateful for them. I soon began to feel the benefits of this simple action. I felt my heart soften a little. I slowly began to perceive them differently. Every time I thought of them, I tried to focus on the good inside of them, instead of what I believed to be their shortcomings. I focused on the list of gratitude I had written, and my whole perspective started to evolve. I imagined my heart becoming more loving, more grateful, and how that felt inside of me. I switched my thoughts to love and blessings towards them instead of resentment and anger. I felt more peace, and I felt happier from changing my own thought patterns bit by bit. If you think of peeling back the layers of the onion, then letting go of disturbance of resentment could be one layer of the onion. When we pull back all the layers of delusion, then we free ourselves. Master Chong San said, "If you don't resent even a single thing, nothing will bear you rancor." How much better I would feel if I were free of bitterness. I don't think that person whom I was resenting was purposely trying to harm me. Jesus said, "Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they're doing." Can I forgive too? If I can forgive, then I can be grateful for the lessons they have taught me. They're teaching me to choose love over hate. I can love them more easily when I can see our interconnected nature. Could it be their own hurt inside of them that makes them act in the way I don't like? Can I have compassion for them, being a fellow being who is suffering too? Maybe they are reflecting something back to me that I need to learn about myself. In that case, they are giving me a gift. The Won Buddhist scriptures say, if we show gratitude to fellow beings, then all fellow beings, moved by acts of mutual benefit, will love one another and rejoice with them, so that I personally will also be safeguarded and honored, and there will be love between individuals, friendship between families, understanding between societies, and peace between nations, so that ultimately we shall have an unimaginably ideal world. On the other hand, ingratitude leads to a world of war. I believe that the good majority of humans would rather there be peace on earth, as opposed to a world of war. That peace begins in our own hearts. If we love the other whom we are resenting, then we will have more love in our world. November's retreat soon began to fade away, but the lesson learned remains with me. As I began to write this Dharma talk, it was the holiday season. Every year, I like to watch the Muppet Christmas Carol with my family. And this is an adaptation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. As I watched this film with my family, I saw how the main character, Ebenezer Scrooge, turns resentment into gratitude. At the start of the film, Scrooge does not want to give money to the poor. He clearly resents the poor, and he resents the spirit of giving at Christmas. Later that night, he is visited by 3 ghosts. When visited by the ghost of Christmas present, he learns how sick his clerk's son, Tiny Tim, is, and how his low pay will not cover the treatment the boy needs. The ghost of Christmas yet to come shows him that Tiny Tim dies of the untreated illness in a possible future. Scrooge asks if this future can be changed. After he has this awareness, his heart becomes completely transformed. He is ready Christmas morning to spread love, peace, and gratitude to all, and give his employee a pay increase to help Tiny Tim. My question is, can we transform our own hearts with a new perspective as Scrooge does in A Christmas Carol? If we deepen our awareness of what our thoughts create, then we may want to change our thoughts. By the end of the show, Scrooge sings a song called Thankful Heart. The song really spoke to me. Here's the first verse of the song. With a thankful heart, with an endless joy, with a growing family, every girl and boy will be nephew and niece to me, will bring love, hope, and peace to me. Yes, and every night will end, and every day will start with a grateful prayer and a thankful heart. Scrooge began to see everyone as his own family and as his own self. His newfound love, in return, gives him happiness as he smiles while he sings, a smile that he did not have when his heart was full of resentment and anger. In this final scene, he walks through the streets, bringing gifts for all, even a tiny mouse in the hole in the wall. In the prayer for world peace, we chant, O Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. May we take refuge in the Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. Do we have a bit of Scrooge in ourselves at times? Is it possible for us to make a transformation like Scrooge did? Our transformation may not happen in such an intense way overnight as it did for Scrooge. It can begin slowly with a change of heart as it did for me with the resentment I was holding on to at the start of the retreat. My proposal for you, if you find yourself holding on to resentment towards another, is to peel back the layers of the onion and try to change your perspective to gratitude. This new year of 2021 brings me hope, as I have my practice to turn to for guidance. My hope is to transform resentment into gratitude when the opportunity is available. In order to do this, I plan to continue the elements of my practice that will support me in doing so. The 3 steps I plan to take are, number 1, daily meditation of both sitting and walking. When I am mindful, I am present with what emotions are arising in me. Number 2, journaling. I will continue to use my journal each day. Next time the feeling of resentment arises, I will write a gratitude list. If I look at our interconnected nature, I think I can find at least one reason to be grateful for my fellow beings, no matter how hard it feels. Number 3, participating in temple events. I plan to meet with Wangong for a Q&A session in every new season to keep me focused on the path and reading the scriptures. I have a new Dharma buddy that I received through the temple that I'm excited to share my journey with. I'll sign up for more virtual retreats this year, as the ones I participated in last year helped me grow and gave me lessons such as this one. I will treat every day as a retreat, bringing meditation to my daily living. On New Year's Day, I sat in my art studio. My being felt a little lighter than it did at the start of the retreat. I knew I had to work on transforming resentment into gratitude. I feel like I was able to peel back a layer of the onion by acknowledging the resentment I had and taking an action step. I have more layers of the onion to peel back, but the more honest I am with myself, the easier the process gets. I'm glad I set this intention for the new year, and I invite you to do the same. I bow to each of you with a grateful prayer and a thankful heart as I acknowledge the original true nature that we all share.